She gave him everything: her heart, her home, and her hard-earned money. To Amaka, Emeka was the dream she had been waiting for. Charming, attractive, and different from every man she had known. But what she didn't know was that love had become a trap. Behind every smile was a lie, and behind every promise was betrayal. This is not just a love story, it is a warning, a story of trust, deceit, and the dangerous price of blind love. The sun was setting gently over the hills of Enugu, casting a golden glow across the streets. From her office window, Amaka, a 28-year-old lawyer, could see people hurrying home after a long day. She leaned back in her chair, exhausted but proud. Another case won, another client satisfied, another paycheck in the bank. Success was no strange to her. By her late 20s, she had achieved what many only dreamed of. She had a well-furnished apartment in Independence Layout, a Toyota Corolla parked neatly outside, and parents who brag about her at every family gathering. But in her heart, she felt a void. She had money, comfort, and prestige, but love had always slipped through her fingers. But that was about to change. Amaka attended the wedding of her colleague one Saturday evening. The air was alive with music, laughter, and the aroma of fried rice and pepper soup. Women in colorful asoebi swayed their hips gracefully, while men clinked bottles of beer and told loud jokes. As the bridesmaids lined up for pictures, Amaka adjusted her peach gown, feeling a little out of place. She wasn't the type who enjoyed parties much, but she came out of respect. Then he appeared, Emeka, tall, chocolate-skinned, with a smile that seems to carry light in it. His white kaftan hugged his athletic frame, and the wristwatch on his hand gleamed in the evening lights. He was helping one of the ushers arrange chairs when his eyes caught Amaka. "Excuse me, Angel," he said with a teasing bow. "Are you the bride? Because I swear heaven has lost another one." Amaka laughed genuinely, caught off guard. "You are too forward. The bride is inside." "Then I'm the luckiest man alive," Emeka grinned. "Since she's already taken, I get to meet her beautiful friend." From that moment, the conversation flowed like water from a calabash. He was witty, charming, and attentive. He asked about her work, her hobbies, her family. Unlike other men who found her achievements intimidating, Emeka seemed impressed, not threatened. When she left the wedding that night, his number was already saved in her phone. They turned into weeks, and Emeka became a constant in Amaka's life. He called her every morning with cheerful greetings. He texted her at night, sending little jokes that made her laugh. Sometimes he showed up at her office with roasted plantain and groundnuts, claiming she worked too hard to eat. Amaka felt something she hadn't felt in years: butterflies. On weekends, he would visit her apartment. Sometimes he cooked, sometimes they watched movies together. He had a way of making her feel like she wasn't alone anymore, like her hard work and independence hadn't isolated her from the joy of companionship. Her best friend Ngozi noticed how happy she looked. "You are glowing these days," Ngozi teased one Sunday afternoon as they shared suya in Amaka's living room. "This one must be serious oo." Amaka smiled shyly. "Ngozi, he's different. Emeka is caring, respectful, and not intimidated by my success. I think he truly loves me," Amaka said. Ngozi raised an eyebrow. Just be careful. Sometimes men see a strong woman and pretend to love them just to enjoy the benefits." Amaka frowned. "Ngozi, must you always be negative?" "I'm just being your friend," Ngozi replied. "Shine your eyes oh, my friend." Amaka brushed it off. Love had finally found her, and she wasn't about to let suspicion ruin it. One evening, after a cozy dinner at her apartment, Emeka seemed unusually quiet. He played with his food, his eyes downcast. "Babe, what's wrong?" Amaka asked, touching his hands. He sighed heavily. "I wasn't going to say anything, but my mom just called. She's really sick. The doctor said she needs some drugs urgently. I have been running around trying to raise money, but I can't. I feel so useless." Amaka's heart tightened. "Oh no." "Emeka, I'm so sorry. How much do you need?" 50,000 naira, he whispered, his eyes glistening with what looked like tears. "But please don't stress yourself. I will figure something out." Amaka didn't even think twice. She pulled out her phone and transferred the money immediately. "Done," she said with a smile. "Don't worry, she will be fine. God will heal her." Emeka hid her hand, his voice trembling. "Amaka, you don't know what this means to me. I will never forget this." That night, as Amaka drifted to sleep, she felt proud. She was not just in love, she was in love with a man worth sacrificing for. What she didn't know was that Emeka's mother was perfectly healthy, and the money was already fueling a night out with another woman. Weeks later, Ngozi bothered her again. "Amaka, do you know your Emeka is always at bars, spending money like water? Where is he even getting it from?" Amaka defended him instantly. "Ngozi, stop. He's a man. He can relax sometimes. Besides, he told me he has small investments." Ngozi sighed. "My dear, just be careful. I have seen too many women fall into traps called love." But Amaka wasn't listening. Love had wrapped her heart so tightly that even the loudest warning sounds like whispers. As she went to bed that night, smiling at Emeka's sweet goodnight text, she whispered to herself, "Finally, my search is over. I have found the man who loves me for me." Little did she know, her journey into the trap had only just begun. The morning sun filtered through the curtains of Amaka's apartment, casting a warm glow across the neatly arranged sitting room. The leather sofa, the frame, lost certificates on the wall, and the polished glass table told the story of a young woman who had worked hard for everything she owned. On the couch, stretched lazily with a plate of bread and fried eggs before him, sat Emeka. He had started spending most of his time at Amaka's apartment, so much so that the gate man now greeted him as though he were the landlord. At first, it was meant to be temporary. "Babe," Emeka had said weeks earlier, with pleading eyes, "my landlord is giving me wahala. He wants to increase my rent, and honestly, I can't handle it right now. Can I just stay with you for a little while until I sort things out?" Amaka had hesitated. She had never lived with a man before, but the thought of Emeka struggling alone weighed heavily on her. "Just for a short time, right?" she asked cautiously. "Of course," Emeka smiled, kissing her hand. "Just a few weeks. I don't want to be a burden." But weeks turned into months, and soon Emeka was living with her, unofficially permanent. It started small. Amaka noticed that he rarely contributed to groceries. When she cooked, he ate. When she ordered food, he joined in. Her electricity bill doubled, but Emeka didn't seem to bother. One evening, Amaka gently raised the topic. "Emeka, you know I don't mind you staying here, but things have changed a bit. The bills are increasing, and I think it will be helpful if you can support me, even with something small." Emeka frowned, dropping the spoon he was holding. "Amaka, are you saying I'm a liability? Is that how you see me?" "No, no," Amaka panicked, reaching for his hand. "That's not what I mean. I just—" But Emeka had already withdrawn, his face hardening. "After all I have been through, after losing my job and struggling to stand, the one woman I thought would understand me is calling me a liability?" Tears welled in his eyes, and guilt immediately flooded Amaka's heart. "Emeka, please, don't misunderstand me. I wasn't complaining. I just wanted us to share responsibilities like partners," she replied. Emeka stood up, shaking his head. "Forget it. I will sort myself out. I don't want to be a burden." Amaka rushed to him, hugging him tightly. "No, Emeka, You are not a burden. I love you. Don't ever say that again. And just like that, the conversation ended, with Emeka successfully slipping the script. From then on, Amaka never mentioned bills again. It didn't stop there. Babe, Emeka said one morning while scrolling through his phone, I just saw a great investment opportunity. My guy is into cryptocurrency and he said if I can put 100,000 now, I will triple in 2 months. Can you help me with something small? I promise to pay you back once the profit comes. Amaka hesitated. She was saving for land, but Emeka's hopeful eyes melt her resolve. All right, I will give you 70,000 for now. He kissed her forehead. Amaka, you are my angel. I swear, once I blow, you will enjoy for life. Another time, he came to her with a different story. My uncle just died in the village and they expect me to contribute for the burial. I can't go empty-handed. Babe, please, can you help me with 30,000? Again, she gave. Each time, Emeka promised to refund her, but not a single kobo ever came back. Ngozi wasn't blind to what was happening. She visited one Saturday afternoon and found Chike lodging in shorts playing a video game on Amaka's TV. Good afternoon, Ngozi, Emeka greeted casually. Afternoon, Ngozi replied flatly, narrowing her eyes. Amaka came out from the kitchen, smiling. Ngozi, you didn't tell me you were coming. I wanted to surprise you, Ngozi said, still eyeing Emeka. Later, when Emeka stepped out to answer a phone call, Ngozi leaned closer to Amaka. My sister, are you sure about this guy? He's too comfortable in your house. Does he even pay for anything here? Amaka laughed nervously. Ngozi, please don't start. Emeka is just going through a lot now. When things get better, he will handle his responsibilities. Ngozi shook her head. I hope you are not funding his lifestyle. I had gist about him. He's always at Polo Park Mall, spending money. Where do you think he gets it from? Amaka's smile faded. Ngozi, stop it. Emeka is not like that. He wouldn't do that to me. Ngozi sighed. Love is blind, my friend. Just shine your eyes before it's too late. Amaka brushed off the warning, but somewhere deep inside, a small seed of doubt was planted. While Amaka was defending him, Emeka was busy elsewhere. On Friday nights, when Amaka worked late at the office, Emeka often went out. He would take Amaka's car, pick up a girl named Adaeze, and drive her to a lounge. With Amaka's money, he bought drinks, showered Adaeze with gifts, and even promised her a future. Emeka, are you serious about me? Adaeze asked one night as they sat in a dimly lit bar. Emeka smirked, sipping his drink. Of course, babe. Amaka, she's just helping me out for now. You are the one I want. Adaeze giggled, leaning into him. Meanwhile, Amaka, alone in her apartment, believed her man was with the boys. One evening, Amaka noticed something odd. As she folded laundry, she found a lipstick stain on one of Emeka's shirts. Emeka, she called, holding it up. What's this? Emeka's eyes widened for a moment. Then he burst into laughter. Amaka, you won't kill me with your suspicion. That's from when I hugged one of my female colleagues at work. She wears too much makeup. You don't trust me? Amaka blushed, feeling embarrassed. I'm sorry, it looks strange. Emeka pulled her close and kissed her forehead. Stop worrying, my love. You are the only woman in my life. And just like that, her doubts melted again. By the end of that year, Emeka was fully settled in Amaka's apartment. He had no plans of leaving. He contributed nothing, yet acted as though the place belonged to him. When Amaka's colleagues came visiting, he introduced himself proudly. I'm Emeka, Amaka's husband-to-be. Amaka blushed whenever he said that, believing it was only a matter of time before he proposed. But to Emeka, it was all part of the act. An act that kept him comfortable, well-fed, and financially secure at Amaka's expense. The bond was growing stronger in Amaka's eyes, but in reality, so was the deceit. And soon the trap would tighten even more. The new year came with excitement for many, but for Amaka, it came with renewed hope. She believed this was the year Emeka would finally rise. Perhaps he would find a stable job, propose marriage to her, and they would begin to build a family. But instead, it became the year Emeka perfected his acts of manipulation. One evening, Amaka returned from work to find Emeka pacing the sitting room with his phone in his hand. His face looked serious, almost troubled. Babe, you are back, he said, barely able to hide his anxiety. Yes, Amaka smiled, dropping her handbag on the sofa. Why do you look so worried? Amaka asked. Did something happen? Emeka took a deep breath, then sat down beside her. Amaka, this is urgent. I just got a call from my friend in Lagos. He's into oil and gas supply, and he says if I can quickly invest 200,000 naira, I will get double in 3 months. Babe, this is the chance we have been waiting for. Our lives can change with this. Amaka's heart skipped. 200,000? That's a lot of money. Emeka, and what if it does not work? Emeka hid her hands tightly, looking into her eyes. Amaka, do you think I will bring nonsense to you? I know this is real. I have seen people blow from this business. Please help me. Once I get the returns, I will pay you back first before even touching anything. Amaka hesitated. Her land savings had just crossed 600,000 and she had been eyeing a plot in Ugwoja. That land was her dream, but Emeka's pleading eyes melted her resolve. "All right," she whispered, "I can give you 150,000. That's all I can spare for now." Emeka hugged her tightly. "Amaka, you are my angel. You won't regret this." That night, while Amaka dreamed of their future wealth, Emeka was at Polo Park Mall with Adaeze, shopping for designer sneakers with her money. Barely a month later, Emeka came again with another story. "Babe, my sister in the village just called. My father collapsed during farm work. They have rushed him to the hospital and they need money for treatment immediately. I don't know what to do." Amaka dropped her spoon, alarmed. "Oh my God, how much do you need?" "About 70,000 naira," Emeka replied, looking desperately. Amaka didn't hesitate. She transferred the money instantly. "Please keep me updated," she said anxiously. "I will," Emeka assured, kissing her forehead. But there was no sick father. Emeka's parents were alive and well, going about their farming in the village. The money went straight into his personal pocket. It was during lunch at a restaurant that Amaka's best friend, Ngozi, finally exploded. "My sister, open your eyes." Ngozi slammed her palm on the table. "This man is using you. Every month there is one emergency or the other. Have you ever seen him return a single naira to you?" Amaka sighed, stirring her jollof rice absent-mindedly. "Ngozi, love is about sacrifice. If I don't help him, who will?" "Emeka is just going through a rough phase now. Things will get better." Ngozi shook her head, exasperated. "You sound like those women who end up broken." "Amaka, you are the one carrying this relationship on your back. He doesn't contribute anything. No bills, no food, no rent, nothing. Don't you see?" Amaka's chest tightened. She hated how Ngozi's words pierced her like arrows because deep down she knew there was some truth in what she was saying. But she whispered stubbornly, "I love him, Ngozi, and I believe in him." Ngozi leaned back, sighing, "May God open your eyes before it's too late." One weekend, Emeka told Amaka he was traveling to Awka for a business meeting. He packed a small bag, kissed her goodbye, and promised to return by Sunday. But Sunday came, he didn't return. His phone was switched off for 2 whole days. Amaka nearly lost her mind with worry. On the third day, he finally strolled in, smelling faintly of alcohol and perfume that wasn't hers. "Emeka, where have you been? Have been worried sick," Amaka cried, rushing to him. He sighed dramatically, collapsing on the sofa. "Babe, you won't believe it. Armed robbers attacked the bus I boarded. They collected our phones and everything. I had to hustle my way back." Amaka gasped. Tears filled her eyes. "Oh no. Are you hurt?" "No," he said softly, "but I need to buy another phone. Can you help me with the money? 80,000 naira. I can't be without a phone." Amaka didn't think twice. She handed him the money that evening. What she didn't know was that Emeka has spent the weekend with Adaeze at a beach resort in Lagos using her money. Valentine Day arrived and Amaka woke up excited. She has secretly bought Emeka a wristwatch worth 50,000 naira, neatly wrapped in a red box. She imagined his reaction, the smile on his face, the gratitude in his eyes. That evening, she handed him the gifts. "Happy Valentine, my love." Emeka unwrapped it, smiled faintly, and muttered, "Thanks, babe." He didn't even hug her. Amaka's heart sank. "Don't you like it?" "It's nice," he said casually, already scrolling on his phone. Amaka forced a smile, fighting back tears. Later that night, as she lay in the bed, she overheard him in the sitting room whispering on the phone, "Yes, babe, I will come tomorrow. I got you that handbag you wanted. Don't worry, you will love it." Amaka froze. A cold chill ran through her. The handbag? With whose money? Her heart told her the answer, but her love refused to accept it. By mid-year, Amaka's savings had drained significantly. The land she once dreamt of buying slipped further out of reach. But each time Chike cried, each time he looked desperate, each time he kissed her forehead and whispered, "Amaka, you are my everything," she gave in. She was convinced that all her sacrifices were temporary, that one day Emeka would rise and repay her. She didn't realize that love in her case was no longer love. It had become a trap, and Chike was the one tightening the rope around her. The rainy season had settled over Enugu, drenching the city with heavy shower and leaving the air thick with the scent of wet earth. From her office window, Amaka watched raindrops slide down the glass, her thoughts drifting, as always, to Emeka. It had been almost 2 years since they met, and though there were moments of doubt, She clung stubbornly to the belief that their love was real. She had sacrificed much money, time, even her dreams of buying land. Yet she told herself it was worth it. But others saw what she refused to see, especially her friend Ngozi. One Thursday evening, Ngozi stopped by Polo Park Mall after work. She wanted to buy a new pair of shoes for her cousin's wedding. The mall buzzed with activity. Shoppers drafted in and out of stores, lovers holding hands, children dragging their parents towards the ice cream stand. As she walked past the food court, her eyes caught something that made her stop dead in her tracks. There, a corner table, was Emeka. He wasn't alone. Across from him sat a light-skinned lady with long braids, her laughter ringing like a bell as Emeka fed her a spoonful of ice cream. He was holding her hand across the table, leaning in close, whispering into her ears. Ngozi blood boiled. For a moment, she thought of storming over and confronting him, but she stopped herself. She needed evidence. She pulled out her phone, adjusted her bag to block her face, and snapped several clear pictures of Emeka and the girl. Her hands trembled with anger. God forbid, she muttered under her breath. So this is where Amaka's hard-earned money goes? The next day, Ngozi invited Amaka to her apartment. They sat at the dining table, plates of jollof rice before them. But Ngozi's mood was heavy. Amaka, I need to show you something, she said, her voice firm. Amaka, look up, curious. What is it? You look serious. Ngozi took a deep breath, then placed her phone on the table, sliding it towards Amaka. Look. Amaka picked it up. Her eyes widened as she saw the photos. Emeka smiling, feeding another woman, holding her hand like a lover. For a moment, the room was silent, except for the ticking of the wall clock. Finally, Amaka whispered, Ngozi, this isn't what it looks like. Ngozi slammed her hand on the table. Not what it looks like. Amaka, open your eyes. Your so-called boyfriend is cheating on you right under your nose, and you are funding his lifestyle. Tears turned Amaka's eyes. Maybe she's just a friend. A friend? Ngozi scoffed. Do friends feed each other ice cream? Do friends hold hands across the table like that? Amaka, this man is deceiving you. Amaka shook her head, her voice breaking. Ngozi, you don't understand. Emeka has been through so much and he needs me. He loves me. I know he does. Maybe he made a mistake. Ngozi leaned forward, her eyes blazing. Amaka, love without respect is slavery. Can't you see? He's living in your house, eating your food, driving your car, spending your money, and now he's entertaining another woman with the resources you provide. Is that love? Amaka's tears fall freely now. Her heart torn between what she saw and what she desperately wanted to believe. That evening, when Emeka returned to the apartment, Amaka confronted him. Emeka, Where were you yesterday? She asked, her arms folded. He raised an eyebrow. I told you I was out with a friend. A female friend? Emeka frowned. Why are you asking like this? Because Ngozi saw you at the mall feeding another woman ice cream and holding her hand. Amaka snapped, her voice trembling. She even showed me pictures. For a split second, guilt flashed across Emeka's face, but he quickly recovered, shaking his head with a bitter laugh. So this is what it has come to. You and your friend are now ganging up against me? Emeka, don't twist this. Just tell me the truth. Who is she? He stepped closer, his expression wounded. Amaka, you of all people should trust me. That lady is a colleague who just lost her job. She was depressed, so I took her out to cheer her up. And now, because I showed a little kindness, you are accusing me of cheating? Amaka filtered, but the way you were with her. Emeka grabbed her hands, his voice breaking. Amaka, do you think I will betray you after everything you have done for me? You are my queen, my backbone. Please, don't let outsiders destroy what we have. Tears filled his eyes and Amaka's heart softened. She pulled him into a hug, sobbing into his chest. I'm sorry, Emeka. I was scared. It's okay, my love, he whispered, hiding his smirk as he stroked her hair. People are jealous of what we share. They want to scatter us. Don't let them. And just like that, the storm passed, at least in Amaka's eyes. The next day, Amaka called Ngozi. Ngozi, I confronted Emeka. He said the girl was just a colleague, going through a hard time. He swore nothing was happening between them. Ngozi's jaw dropped. And you believed him? Amaka's voice trembled. Ngozi, he was so sincere. I don't think he's lying. Ngozi slammed her phone on the bed in frustration. Amaka, this man has cast a spell on you. One day you will wake up and it will be too late. Weeks passed. Amaka tried to shake off the image of Emeka with the other woman. She buried herself in work, convincing herself that love required patience and trust. Meanwhile, Emeka grew bolder. He no longer bothered to hide his late night outings. When Amaka asked, he snapped at her. Stop policing me. I'm not your prisoner. If you don't trust me, then why are we together? The guilt always silenced her, but deep in her heart, Amaka felt the first real chains of the trap tightening. She loved him, but she was no longer sure if she loved a man or an illusion. And while she battled her doubts, Emeka continued to drain her financially, emotionally, and spiritually. The warning had been sounded, but would Amaka listen? See that in part 2. Hi, besties. Please let me know in the comment section where you are watching this beautiful story from. And let me know in the comment section what you learned or what you enjoy about the story. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you have not done so. And you can click the notification bell to be notified when I post the part 2 of the story. Bye!